The average Social Security check in the United States sits right around $1,900 a month. If you take that check into Northern Virginia, the city of Richmond, or the coastal resorts of Virginia Beach, you will quickly realize that local real estate developers and tax assessors do not view you as a human being who spent 40 years working for a living. They view you as a financial hurdle that needs to be cleared so another tech executive can move into a 3-story townhome. In places like Arlington or Leesburg, $1,900 will not even cover rent on a basement studio with a view of an HVAC unit, let alone groceries, property taxes, and prescription medicine. But there is another Virginia that corporate home builders and high-gloss travel magazines simply ignore. Far away from the traffic gridlock of Interstate 95 and the hyper-inflated suburban developments, there are quiet, forgotten towns where dignity and affordability are still on speaking terms. We are talking about places where you can buy a solid brick rancher with a porch and a quarter-acre garden for less than the price of a used pickup truck in Loudoun County. In one town on this list, you can buy a move-in ready home for under $110,000, with annual property taxes that cost less than a single weekend stay at a resort in Williamsburg. In another, a retired couple can pay $700 a month in total housing costs, while sitting on a front porch surrounded by 2,000-foot Appalachian peaks. In a third, you can live 5 minutes from a fully equipped regional hospital on a riverbank, where your biggest daily financial decision is whether to buy a $6 lunch special at the local diner. This is Virginia before it got complicated. I am your resident economic mapmaker, and if you believe that working-class retirees deserve a peaceful, affordable retirement without being priced out of existence, hit that subscribe button right now. Starting at number 12, we have Big Stone Gap. Located in Wise County in the rugged heart of Southwest Virginia, sitting at an elevation of 1,460 feet, this old coal and timber town feels miles away from modern economic madness. Big Stone Gap sits along the Powell River, surrounded by the towering limestone ridges of the Cumberland Mountains, about 210 miles west of Roanoke and an hour-and-a-half drive from Knoxville, Tennessee. Do the math on the economics here, because the numbers are startling. The median home price in Big Stone Gap is roughly $125,000. That's not a typo. You can find sturdy 2-bedroom cottages and traditional frame homes selling for between $90,000 and $130,000. Median rent hovers around $650 a month. Wise County's property tax rate sits at 65 cents per $100 of assessed value. On a $100,000 home, your annual property tax bill is just $650, or roughly $54 a month. On a $1,900 Social Security check, after paying housing, taxes, and utilities, you are still left with over $1,100 a month for groceries, gas, and savings. For healthcare, residents rely on Lonesome Pine Hospital right in town, backed up by the larger Norton Community Hospital just 10 miles away. Historically, Big Stone Gap was a roaring boomtown fueled by coal seams and railroad lines, later made famous by author Adriana Trigiani. Walking down Wood Avenue on an October evening, the air smells like wood smoke and damp mountain oak leaves. I sat on a painted bench near the June Tolliver house and talked with a retired mine mechanic who's used tuning an old acoustic guitar. He looked out at the ridgeline, smiled, and said, "Up here, my monthly check makes me feel like a wealthy man, because nobody is trying to price me out of my own porch." The reality check for Big Stone Gap is straightforward. Coal mining is largely gone, downtown has vacant storefronts, winter nights get cold in the mountains, and major commercial airports require a 2-hour drive. Moving to number 11, we find Clifton Forge. Tucked into Allegheny County at an elevation of 1,080 feet, Clifton Forge was once a bustling division point for the Chesapeake and Ohio Railway. Located along the Jackson River, roughly 45 miles northwest of Roanoke, this mountain enclave is framed by the steep ridges of the Allegheny Mountains. The economics here are built for a stress-free retirement budget. The median home price in Clifton Forge sits around $115,000. Move-in ready Victorian homes and solid bungalows routinely hit the market for under $130,000. Median rent is approximately $675 a month. The real estate tax rate in Allegheny County is 54 cents per hundred. On a $100,000 house, you pay just $540 a year in land taxes. Subtract a $400 mortgage payment and basic utilities from a $1,900 the monthly income, and you still have well over $1,000 in discretionary income every 30 days. Infrastructure access is surprisingly robust. Lewis Gale Hospital Allegheny operates right on the edge of town, offering full emergency room and diagnostic care. Clifton Forge's bizarre local claim to fame is its legacy as a rail titan. At its peak, the town operated massive steam locomotive repair shops, and today it houses the C&O Railway Heritage Center. Walking along Ridgeway Street, you hear the distant low hum of a CSX freight train rolling through the gap. The smell of fresh espresso wafts out from a locally owned artisan shop occupying a restored brick storefront. The fair warning here is clear. The decline of rail manufacturing left deep economic scars, job growth is minimal, and if you dislike the noise of freight trains blowing their horns through the river valley at night, Clifton Forge will take some getting used to. At number 10 is Richlands. Located in Tazewell County at an elevation of 1,930 feet, Richlands sits in a high valley carved out by the Clinch River, about 140 miles west of Roanoke. Surrounded by rolling green hills and Appalachian ridges, this town offers clean mountain air and an unhurried pace of life. The hard economics make Richlands an absolute haven for fixed-income retirees. The median home price here is roughly $120,000. Solid brick ranchers built in the 1960s, with spacious backyards, are easily purchased for $110,000. Renters can secure comfortable two-bedroom apartments for $600 to $700 a month. Tazewell County levies a real estate tax rate of 58 cents per $100 of assessed value, keeping annual property taxes on an average home under $700. On a single Social Security check of $1,900, a retiree here can easily cover housing, food, and insurance with several $100s left over each month. In terms of healthcare infrastructure, Richlands punches far above its weight class thanks to Clinch Valley Medical Center, a full-service, 120-bed regional hospital located right inside town limits. Historically, Richlands grew as a commercial hub for surrounding agricultural and mining communities. I remember standing near the Clinch River bank on a humid Tuesday morning, watching the mist rise off the slow-moving water while an elderly couple walked their lab retriever along the gravel path. The smell of frying bacon drifted from a nearby diner on Front Street. The reality check for Richlands is that it is isolated from major urban centers. Retail options are largely limited to local stores and small chains, and the regional economy is slowly transitioning away from legacy energy industries. Coming in at number 9, we head east to Alta Vista. Situated in Campbell County along the banks of the Roanoke River, at an elevation of 550 feet, Alta Vista is located 25 miles south of Lynchburg and about 45 miles east of Roanoke. Surrounded by gentle rolling Piedmont hills, it offers a milder climate while maintaining strict small-town affordability. The math on Alta Vista is deeply reassuring for anyone living on a fixed budget. The median home price sits at approximately $165,000. Well-maintained frame houses and single-story ranchers regularly sell between $140,000 and $180,000. Median rent is right around $750 a month. Campbell County's property tax rate is 52 cents per $100. That means a classic $150,000 home carries an annual property tax bill of just $780. Do the math on that. That is $65 a month. Your total monthly housing footprint here can easily stay under $800, leaving over $1,000 from a standard Social Security check. For medical needs, Central Lynchburg General Hospital and Virginia Baptist Hospital are less than 30 minutes away. Alta Vista has a fascinating industrial history as the birthplace of the Lane Company, which manufactured famous cedar chests here for nearly a century. Walking past the historic brick industrial buildings near the river, the smell of warm pine needles hangs heavy in the summer air. On Main Street, screen doors slap softly as locals drift in and out of the hardware store. The reality check for Alta Vista is that it retains a working-class, manufacturing feel, industrial freight rail cuts directly through the town, and nightlife is virtually non-existent. At number 8, we move to Marion. Located in Smith County at an elevation of 2,170 feet, Marion rests in the Holston River Valley between the Clinch Mountains and the Blue Ridge Mountains, 90 miles southwest of Roanoke along Interstate 81. Marion provides an exceptional quality of life for retirees who want mountain beauty without the luxury resort price tags of nearby Highlands towns. The median home price in Marion is roughly $145,000. I'll say that again for the people in the back. $145,000. Cozy two-bedroom homes near downtown can be bought for under $130,000. Rent averages around $690 a month. Smith County charges a property tax rate of 74 cents per hundred. An average home here costs roughly $1,000 a year in property taxes. Smith County Community Hospital, a modern facility operated by Ballad Health, is located directly in town, offering emergency and specialized care. Marion's bizarre local claim to fame is that it is the birthplace of the soft drink Mountain Dew, brewed here in the 1940s, and home to the historic Lincoln Theater, one of only 3 remaining Mayan Revival theaters in the country. Sitting on the bench outside the courthouse on a crisp afternoon, you can hear the chime of church bells echoing across the brick buildings, while the wind blows down from nearby Mount Rogers. The scent of roasted pork barbecue from a local diner fills the street. The fair warning for Marion is that traffic along Interstate 81 carries constant long-haul trucker noise nearby, and severe mountain winter weather can occasionally isolate high-elevation side roads. Number 7 brings us to Pulaski. Located in Pulaski County at an elevation of 1,900 feet, this historic town sits along Peak Creek in the New River Valley, just 40 miles southwest of Roanoke and 25 miles from the college town of Blacksburg. Pulaski gives retirees access to the medical and cultural amenities of the New River Valley without forcing them to pay Blacksburg's absurd university-driven real estate prices. The median home price in Pulaski is approximately $155,000. Solid brick homes with hardwood floors and mature shade trees routinely sell for under $170,000. Median rent hovers around $725. Pulaski County's property tax rate sits at 81 cents per hundred, keeping annual taxes on a median home around $1,200. On a $1,900 monthly budget, living in Pulaski allows a retiree to easily keep total living expenses under $1,200, leaving $700 pure cash buffer every month. Healthcare access is excellent, with Lewisgale Hospital Pulaski located right in town. Historically, Pulaski was a powerhouse of furniture manufacturing and iron works. Walking through the historic downtown with its massive granite stone buildings, you smell damp stone and mountain air. I watched an elderly man effortlessly tuning up a vintage bicycle on his front porch, waving as cars drifted past. The reality check for Pulaski is that the industrial closures of the late 20th century left behind significant commercial vacancies downtown, and revitalization is happening slowly step by step. If you are finding this breakdown of hidden, affordable retirement towns valuable, take a quick second right now to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. It costs you nothing, but it helps us keep delivering real economic truths to people who need them. Number 6, we head down to South Boston. Located in Halifax County in Southside Virginia at an elevation of 330 feet, South Boston sits along the Dan River, 60 miles east of Danville and 100 miles southwest of Richmond. This is a region of gentle terrain, mild winters, and long growing seasons. The financial relief South Boston offers to a stretched retiree budget is immediate. The median home price here is approximately $135,000. That's not a typo. You can purchase a spacious, single-story home with a porch and a large yard for under $140,000. Renters can find sweet, quiet two-bedroom brick duplexes for $650 a month. Halifax County levies a real estate tax rate of 57 cents per $100. On a $130,000 home, your annual property tax bill is roughly $741, under $62 a month. Sentara Halifax Regional Hospital operates right in South Boston, providing comprehensive medical care, emergency services, and specialized clinics. Historically, South Boston was one of the largest bright-leaf tobacco auction markets in the world. Walking down Main Street, the air smells like sweet tobacco land, blooming crepe myrtles, and warm southern soil. I spoke with a woman who relocated here from Maryland, sitting on her front porch swing. She chuckled and said, "In Maryland, my property taxes alone were $800 a month. Here, $800 covers my mortgage, my taxes, and my power bill combined." The fair warning for South Boston is that summer days are hot and humid. The local economy moves at a sleepy pace, and major cultural institutions require a drive to Richmond or Durham. Coming in at number 5 is Covington. Nestled in Allegheny County along the Jackson River at an elevation of 1,240 feet, Covington is an independent city surrounded by steep, forest-covered mountains. Located 50 miles northwest of Roanoke, Covington is one of the absolute most inexpensive places to own a home in the entire Commonwealth of Virginia. The median home price in Covington is a stunning $110,000. Solid frame bungalows and brick ranchers frequently trade hands for $85,000 to $115,000. Rent averages around $625 a month. The city's real estate tax rate is 73 cents per $100. On a $100,000 home, your property tax bill is $730 a year. On a single $1,900 Social Security check, you can pay housing, utilities, food, and car insurance, and still put $400 a month directly into a savings account. Medical needs are handled by Lewisgale Hospital Allegheny, located just 5 miles down the road in Clifton Forge. Covington's economy has been anchored for over a century by its massive paper manufacturing plant along the river. Walking through the neighborhood streets on a crisp afternoon, mountain ridges loom tall over every roofline, and the scent of wood fires fills the chilly air. The reality check for Covington is direct and undeniable. The local paper mill emits a strong industrial odor that coats the valley depending on wind direction, and the industrial footprint dominates the town's visual character. At number 4, we traveled to Tappahannock. Situated along the wide Rappahannock River in Essex County at an elevation of 40 feet, Tappahannock sits in Virginia's coastal plain, 45 miles northeast of Richmond. Tappahannock gives retirees water access and coastal tidewater living without the astronomical price tags of the Outer Banks or Northern Neck resort enclaves. The median home price here is roughly $210,000. Slightly higher than mountain coal towns, but remarkably low for a riverfront hub. Cozy two-bedroom homes near the historic core sell between $170,000 and $220,000. Rent averages around $850 a month. Essex County levies a real estate tax rate of 64 cents per $100. Annual property taxes on a $180,000 home run, roughly $1,150. For medical care, Riverside Tappahannock Hospital sits right in town, offering vital emergency and surgical services. Tappahannock is one of Virginia's oldest port towns, officially established in 1682 as a tobacco naval port. Standing on the public river pier, watching blue crabs scuttle near the basins while salt breeze blows off the water, you hear the sharp cry of gulls flying overhead. The air smells like brackish water, fried oysters, and pine. The reality check for Tappahannock is that summer weekend traffic heading to the beaches congests Route 360. Flood risks exist in low-lying river zones, and winters can feel quiet and isolated when seasonal tourism slows down. Number 3 brings us to Chatham. Located in Pittsylvania County at an elevation of 820 feet, Chatham sits in the rolling red clay hills of the Virginia Piedmont, 20 miles north of Danville and 50 miles south of Lynchburg. Chatham offers classic, historic Virginia small-town architecture at prices that seem frozen in time. The median home price in Chatham is $155,000. Brick homes on leafy streets routinely sell for under $165,000. Rent averages $700 a month. Pittsylvania County charges a property tax rate of 62 cents per $100. That means an annual property tax bill on an average home is under $960. Do the math on that. That is $80 a month. On a standard Social Security payment, living here is smooth, quiet, and deeply affordable. For healthcare, Sova Health in Danville is just 20 minutes down Route 29. Chatham's quirk is its surprisingly grand architectural footprint, anchored by the imposing 1853 Pittsylvania County Courthouse and Hargrave Military Academy. Walking along Main Street under a canopy of massive oak trees, the air smells of freshly cut grass and clay earth. You can sit on the courthouse steps and hear nothing but the whistle of red-tailed hawks soaring over the surrounding pine forests. The fair warning for Chatham is that the town itself is extremely small with very limited retail options, meaning groceries and routine errands will require a 15-mile drive to Danville. At number 2, we travel to the far western tip of the state, to Pennington Gap. Located in Lee County at an elevation of 1,400 feet, Pennington Gap sits in the extreme southwest Virginia wedge between Kentucky and Tennessee, 350 miles west of Richmond. Pennington Gap is one of the absolute lowest cost of living enclaves in the eastern United States. The median home price here is roughly $99,000. I kid you not, under $100,000 for a median house. You can comfortably buy a move-in ready home for $85,000. Rent averages $575 a month. Lee County levies a real estate tax rate of 56 cents per $100. Annual property taxes on an $85,000 home are a mind-boggling $476 a year, less than $40 a month. A retiree with a $1,900 check here lives with absolute financial independence. Basic medical needs are serviced by Lee County Community Hospital right in town. Historically, the town served as a primary rail gap for timber and coal leaving the mountain pockets. Standing near Lehman Field Park, looking up at the massive vertical rock cut known as the Pennington Gap in Stone Mountain, the scenery is breathless. The mountain wind smells like hemlock and cold river water. The reality check is stark. Pennington Gap is geographically remote, major shopping and commercial airports are hours away, and the local economy remains deeply depressed following coal's decline. And finally, coming in at number 1 on our list of unknown Virginia towns where you can retire on Social Security alone is Appomattox. Located in Appomattox County at an elevation of 820 feet, 25 miles east of Lynchburg and 90 miles west of Richmond, Appomattox sits peacefully amid the rolling green hills of central Virginia. Appomattox hits the perfect sweet spot between profound American history, rural peace, healthcare access, and extreme affordability. The median home price in Appomattox is approximately $185,000. Solid brick ranchers with mature oak trees and full basements regularly sell between $160,000 and $200,000. Rent averages $750 a month. Appomattox County charges a real estate tax rate of 58 cents per $100. Annual property taxes on a $170,000 home are just $986, roughly $82 a month. Total monthly housing expenses here can easily be held under $850, leaving over $1,000 from a single Social Security check to cover food, fuel, and hobbies. Healthcare access is ideal, with Central Lynchburg General Hospital just 25 minutes away via 4-lane highway. Appomattox is world-famous as the site where General Robert E. Lee surrendered to General Ulysses S. Grant in 1865, ending the Civil War in Virginia. Walking through the quiet historic square or along the woodchip trails at the nearby National Historical Park, the air smells like sweet clover and hardwood forest. I sat on a bench outside a local bakery and talked with a retired couple who moved down from Pennsylvania 3 years ago. The husband looked out over the rolling green hills and said, "We were terrified we'd run out of money up north. We moved here, bought a house outright. And for the first time in our lives, our Social Security check actually covers everything, with room to spare." The fair warning for Appomattox is that commercial entertainment is quiet. Dining out options are mostly simple local spots, and the town gets busy with historical tourism during peak spring weekends. Retirement should not feel like an endless financial siege where you are constantly forced to defend your life savings against creeping taxes, outrageous rent hikes, and unpayable utility bills. The state of Virginia has plenty of hyper-expensive, high-stress suburbs, but as these 12 towns prove, it also harbors quiet, beautiful pockets where a working-class retiree can pull up a rocking chair, look out at the mountains or rivers, and live in comfort and dignity on a single Social Security check. If you want to keep finding the hidden economic sweet spots across America before the rest of the world catches on, hit that subscribe button right now. Leave a comment below letting me know which of these hidden Virginia towns caught your attention, or share your own favorite affordable small town. Thanks for watching, and click on the next video appearing on your screen right now to keep discovering America's best-kept real estate secrets.